History often remembers great figures, the conquerors, the emperors, the inventors, and the revolutionaries. But there are those whose legacies are just as profound, yet whose names are not always as widely known. One such figure is Fatima al-Fihri, a woman who, over 1,000 years ago, did something that would forever change the course of history. She founded the world's first university. Now, you might be wondering, why haven't we heard more about her? After all, we know about the great educational institutions in history like Oxford, Harvard, or the University of Bologna. But al-Qarawiyyin, founded by Fatima al-Fihri in 859 AD in Fez, Morocco, still holds the title of the oldest continuously operating degree-granting university in the world. And it all began with one woman's vision for knowledge, empowerment, and a better world. So how did this remarkable woman, born over 1,000 years ago in a time and place where women's roles were often restricted, come to found one of the most significant institutions in human history? Let's take a deeper look into the life and legacy of Fatima al-Fihri. The early life of Fatima al-Fihri. Fatima was born around 800 AD in Kairouan, in present-day Tunisia, into a well-off family. Her father, Muhammad al-Fihri, was a successful merchant. However, in the midst of political upheaval, the al-Fihri family decided to move to Fez, Morocco, where Fatima would grow up and eventually become an important figure. Fatima, like many women of her time, would have been expected to marry and take on a domestic role, but she was different. She was highly educated, resourceful, and visionary. When her father passed away, Fatima inherited a significant portion of his wealth. But instead of using this fortune for personal gain or luxury, Fatima had a higher calling, a calling that would forever impact the world. The vision for al-Qarawiyyin in the 9th century, education was highly valued, but it was typically reserved for a select few. Religious schools, or madrasas, were the primary means of learning, and they often focused on religious studies. Fatima, however, recognized the immense value of intellectual pursuits far beyond just theology. She saw an opportunity to create a center that would bring together scholars from diverse fields: astronomy, philosophy, medicine, mathematics, and more. In 859 AD, she used her inheritance to purchase land in Fez and began construction on what would become al-Qarawiyyin, a place of learning, culture, and enlightenment. What makes this story even more extraordinary is that this was a time when women were not widely seen in positions of power, especially in education and leadership. But Fatima's determination was unshakable. Al-Qarawiyyin was initially established as a madrasa, a religious school, but Fatima's vision was far broader. The university quickly expanded to include a wide range of subjects, from the sciences to the humanities. The curriculum would later cover law, medicine, mathematics, chemistry, astronomy, and even linguistics. The growth and influence of al-Qarawiyyin over time, al-Qarawiyyin became a beacon of intellectual thought and a symbol of learning across the Muslim world. Scholars and students from all corners of the globe traveled to Fez to study and contribute to the thriving academic community. The university attracted leading thinkers, philosophers, and scientists who would go on to make groundbreaking contributions to the intellectual landscape of the Middle Ages and beyond. Among the most notable figures who studied or taught at al-Qarawiyyin were philosophers like Ibn Rushd, Averroes, historian Ibn Khaldun, and Musa al-Qadim, one of the greatest early Islamic scholars. These individuals made significant contributions to fields such as astronomy, philosophy, medicine, and mathematics, which played a vital role in preserving and translating the works of ancient Greek philosophers, further laying the groundwork for the European Renaissance centuries later. Fatima's legacy. A revolution in education. What truly sets Fatima al-Fihri apart is her vision to empower everyone, regardless of gender, class, or background, to seek knowledge. This was a revolutionary idea, especially in the 9th century when the education of women was still extremely rare. Fatima was not just a philanthropist. She was a pioneer of education who saw the potential of knowledge to bridge divides and create a better society. Her creation of al-Qarawiyyin is one of the earliest examples of women leading educational reform and proving that knowledge could be a tool for societal transformation. Fatima al-Fihri was an embodiment of what is now widely understood as social justice, the belief that everyone, regardless of their gender or background, deserves the opportunity to learn and grow. The enduring impact of al-Qarawiyyin is still operating today, more than 1,160 years after its founding. It is a living legacy to Fatima al-Fihri's belief in Ni'ai. There is little documented about Fatima's personal life, and while we know she was married at some point, there are few details about her husband, or whether she had children. What we do know is that Fatima's focus was always on her mission: to create a place where anyone, regardless of their gender, social status, or background, could come to learn and grow. Her ability to establish such an influential institution stands as a powerful symbol of what is possible when one dares to dream beyond the boundaries set by society. Though the exact date of Fatima al-Fihri's death remains uncertain, it is believed that she passed away around 880 AD. Despite her passing, the legacy she left behind continues to resonate today. Al-Qarawiyyin is still in operation, over 1,160 years later, making it the oldest continuously operating degree-granting university in the world. It stands as a living monument to Fatima's vision and commitment to education. Fatima al-Fihri was more than just a founder of a university. She was a pioneer of intellectual equality. Her establishment of al-Qarawiyyin was an early example of how education could be a tool for empowerment and societal change. It is a legacy that has inspired countless individuals, especially women, to break barriers and challenge the status quo. In a world where education is still seen as a privilege in some places, Fatima's story reminds us of the power of learning, the importance of access to education, and the belief that knowledge can transform societies. Her life is a shining example that, with vision, determination, and the will to make a difference, one person can leave an indelible mark on the world. In a world where women were often told that their place was not in the halls of academia or leadership, one woman defied these limits and proved that knowledge is a force that knows no gender, no boundaries, and no restrictions. So, next time you step into a classroom, attend a lecture, or open a book, remember the woman who laid the foundation for it all. Fatima al-Fihri, a woman who, against all odds, changed the course of history and left a legacy that continues to shape the world of education to this very day. But here's the most incredible part. Fatima al-Fihri didn't just build a university, she created a legacy that reminds us that education knows no gender. While women of her time were often restricted to domestic roles, Fatima broke that mold. She showed the world that a woman could dream, create, and shape the future through the power of knowledge. Her university became a symbol of empowerment, not just for men, but for women everywhere. Al-Qarawiyyin proved that women are just as capable of shaping the world as anyone else. Fatima's actions spoke volumes to the world. Don't hinder women from learning, for they too can be the architects of change. Today, al-Qarawiyyin is still the oldest continually operating university in the world, over 1,160 years later. It's a testament to Fatima's unwavering belief in the power of education. And it is a reminder that every woman, no matter the time or place, has the potential to lead, to create, and to leave an impact on the world. So remember Fatima al-Fihri's legacy next time you open a book, enter a classroom, or pursue a new goal. Her story is proof that knowledge has no limits, and neither do those who seek it. Education is the key to unlocking opportunities and breaking cycles of poverty, and for women its impact is transformative. When women are educated, they gain the tools to become more confident, independent, and self-sufficient, which are essential qualities for their personal and professional growth. If you teach a woman, you change a society. In a small village nestled between the hills, there was a girl named Amina. From a young age, she was fascinated by the world beyond her home. She would often sit by the window, watching the women in the village, wondering why they were always busy with the same tasks every day, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the children. It seemed like they never had the chance to explore the world, to learn more than the daily chores they were taught as young girls. One day a teacher came to the village. She was a woman who had traveled from the city, and she wasn't just here to teach the young boys. She wanted to teach the girls as well. At first, there was resistance. Why educate the girls, some said. They'll only get married and stay at home. But the teacher believed in the power of education, and she was determined to make a change. Amina's family was hesitant, but her mother, seeing the spark of curiosity in her daughter's eyes, decided to take a chance. Amina was allowed to attend the classes. For the first time, she learned to read and write. She learned about the world outside her village, about science, history, and ideas that challenged everything she had ever known. Amina's eyes opened to a future filled with possibilities. As Amina grew older, she used her education not only for her own advancement, but to inspire others. She began teaching other girls in the village, helping them see that their worth wasn't defined by their ability to take care of the home, but by their potential to shape the world. One by one, girls started to leave the old ways behind. They began to dream bigger, of becoming doctors, teachers, scientists, and leaders. The impact was felt throughout the entire village. With more educated women, families prospered. Women started businesses, took up leadership roles, and became advocates for their children's education. As the women's voices grew stronger, the entire community began to change. Men who once believed that women's place was only at home now saw the value in their contributions. Amina, now a woman of influence and wisdom, stood at the head of the village council. She knew that her education had changed not just her life, but the very fabric of society around her. It was not just the power of knowledge that had transformed her, but the ripple effect it had caused, touching every corner of her community. If you teach a woman, you change a society. The words had never been truer. Education was not just about individual advancement. It was the key to unlocking a brighter, more prosperous future for all. And through Amina's journey, the world saw the incredible potential of educated women, not only as individuals but as pillars of change, creating ripple effects that would continue to spread across generations. This is the power of education. It changes lives, it changes societies, and most importantly, it changes the future.